On this week's show, our computer may be infected. Thank goodness Will Traxler is here to save our hard drive and give us the lowdown on his exceptional indie game, Exception. Nintendo drops a bit of Sword and Shield news that leaves us feeling a little bit hangry. Loot boxes are becoming less scummy. We see you sweating over there, EA. And finally, the Hype Zone leaves us feeling stranded. This is Nintendo Dual Screens episode 111. Welcome, everybody, to Nintendo Dual Screens episode 111 for the week of August 12th, 2019, sponsored by our brand new sponsor, Melted Pins, and I will tell you all about that later on in the show. I am one of your hosts, Stephen Fontana, and with me, as always, each and every week, it is Andy. How are you, Andy Asimakis? How are you?
You got a reprieve, because before we record this show, I'm always thinking to myself, this is the last one I'm doing with this guy. I hate him so much. This has to end. But you crushed that intro.
Listen, I am a trained Screen Actors Guild actor. You know, it's just what happens. I am a trained performer. What can I tell you? It's years and years of training. And
so well, my friend.
I know.
I am colorfully impressed.
It was good.
You just bring my words to life.
And no, I'm not making up the name of our guest this week. He just has that cool of a name.
Badass name.
It is. Like, he should get in a cage and start punching dudes. Like, just get in an octagon and start fighting. That is Will Traxler. How are you, Will?
Very good, very good. That's a great idea about the punching in a cage, because with all the launch stuff going on, I feel like doing that right now.
Well, we got so listener, we have Will on this show, and this never happens like this. We have Will on the show less than 2 days before his game comes out, and that is unheard of. The fact that we have been able to carve out a little time out of his very, very busy schedule to come and tell you about this video game right now is insane. So Will, we thank you so very much, and don't worry, we're gonna have some fun. It's gonna be worth it, and our listeners are some of the best on the planet. And we already, when we plugged that we were gonna have you on the show, and we put your trailer out over, it sparked a lot of conversation. So I think you're gonna be very pleased with how this thing is responded to. For those of you who are new to Nintendo Dual Screens podcast, like Will is, this is an interview show where Andy and I bring on an industry guest and we talk about the indies and Nintendo's past, present, and future. Nintendo Dual Screens posts each and every Monday for your listening pleasure on your podcast service of choice, including YouTube, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. And of course, dualscreens.com. Each and every week, you can go over there and check it out. Listen to it right there on the page there. It's fun. Please consider leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts, which I think is going away. I don't know what Apple's doing over there. They're changing all sorts of shit. I think iTunes is going away. I don't know. Whatever. But if you use Apple's service to listen to the show, please consider going into the review part and giving us a review, a 5-star review. If you give us a 5-star review, we will read it on the air. Doesn't matter how silly it is. You can even ask us questions. If you want to ask questions and guarantee that they get read on the air, that's the way to do it. Even though,
and if you give us a 1-star review and you call out Steven for being a douche, I will buy you a Nintendo Switch.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Wow. No, we don't want our ratings to drop. So...
I could use a Switch.
Yes, we all could. Even Andy, as I've learned in the pre-show. Actually, was that? Did we stop recording? I think we stopped recording.
I just don't own it.
Right. It's just not yours.
Legal reasons.
Right.
If it was a legal issue, it wouldn't be mine. I bought it for someone that lives with me, for my fiance.
Right. Well, listen, folks. If you want to support this dumpster fire, you could do so. It's really easy. You could go to patreon.com/NDS podcast, just like our Patreon producer, the Grandmaster himself, Alex Gonzalez. Alex, thank you so much. As always, we love you very much. You are one of the best that of our listeners, and we love you very much. And we cannot continue to grow without your support. Excuse me. Oh God, I chugged some of this LaCroix before the show to get my energy levels up, because that's what does it for me. Seltzer water just pops me full of energy.
I do cocaine. That's why I help with the show.
Sure. More importantly, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we do here at NDS Podcast, the best way to support us is to share the show with your friends. So please consider telling your friends and family and be like, yo, I listen to the show. No, it's not by IGN. It's not Giant Bomb. It's not Kotaku. It's not these big giant shit that talk about, hey guys, we're going to talk about the same news that everybody talks about. No. We get the guys that make the games you play. That's who we get on this show. We get the people that do the voices of the games that you play. That's what we do on this show. Right, Andy?
Is there cocaine in your LaCroix? Because you're going so off book right now.
There isn't, but I'm real jazzed about this. I'm real jazzed, man. Will came on. He sounds clear.
You're happy about this.
He sounds so goddamn clear. His game comes out in 2 days. He's jazzed. I'm jazzed. You're jazzed. I'm just happy to be here, ladies and gentlemen.
I got jazz hands. You can't see him, though.
Jazz hands. All right. Before we get into the lead story, before we get into the Nintendo News Report, let's talk about our retweet contest winner sponsored by patreon.com/NDS podcast, which we hit the $200 tier, and now we give away shit every single week. And last week's prize, which we're giving away this week, is a copy of Blossom Tales on the Nintendo Switch, and our winner is, drum roll please, it's at Dolan the Ginger. At Dolan the Ginger, and that is the first and last time I'm ever acknowledging that gingers exist, you freaks.
We're letting one win a contest on our podcast.
I know, we just did it. Freaky.
Never again.
Freaky ginger. Nah, I'm just joshing. Thank you so much, Dolan the Ginger. You win. A winner is you. We will DM you, and we will send you that code. And if you don't respond, we will punch you in the throat. This week's prize, guess what, Will? We're going to buy somebody Exception on the Nintendo Switch Entertainment System.
Oh, sweet.
That's what we're going to do this week. We're going to do that. So to enter, folks, all you have to do when we post this show on our Twitter, which is at NDS Podcast, when we post it on Monday, which is the day you're listening to this, well, it went live. You know what I mean. We'll post it you post it on Monday, you retweet it, and right before we record, literally a minute before we hit the record button, I pick the winner. We throw it in the dock, and a winner is you. So that's all it takes, guys. That's all it takes. That's it. It's simple. Andy, it's my favorite time. It's my favorite segment of the show.
Do it.
It's time for the Nindies of the Week. All right, Andy, what do you got for me, bud?
Chroma Squad, bitch.
Chroma Squad.
Oh my god.
Tell me about it.
This game. Imagine Power Rangers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the premise of the game isn't that you're Power Rangers, that you are the actors who play the Power Rangers.
I've heard of this, yes. Okay, now it's...
So you quit your job being a stuntman. 5 stunt people quit their jobs to make their own studio.
Uh-huh.
And create their own Power Rangers-esque TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And you can cast actors, buy equipment, special effects, and it plays out like a tactics game.
Yes.
Like a tactical RPG.
Yes.
I'm
liking everything I'm hearing right now.
The greatest thing ever.
Ever.
There's like mech battles. It's so cool.
This might be a thing I want to do.
Because I'm thirsty for like a new tactics kind of game.
Yeah, sure.
You know? And we're not going to get one the Final Fantasy only anytime soon, I feel.
I mean, you got Fire Emblem.
Right. There's that.
But that's also $60 hairs.
Right.
And
a lot of money, a lot of cheddar.
A lot of ched.
And I support indie games. Because, you gotta show the love.
Because that's what we're all about here on Nintendo Dual Screens Podcast.
Right. And it's a different take on a beloved genre.
Yes.
And it's just goofy. It's a fun game.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Well, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Are you playing anything other than the game that's coming out in 36 hours?
It's kind of funny. I was looking at my Steam account the other day, and I haven't touched any other game in like 3 months. It's pretty sad.
You poor man.
It's par for the course, man. When a dev has a game coming out or just came out, it's like, no, they don't play really anything else unless they're like the PR person. Then they'll be like, oh yeah, I played this, and this. Yeah, But yeah,
Can I tell you a secret?
absolutely.
Sure.
I am
Real
sick to
secrets.
death of playing my own game.
Heard that. Heard that.
It's like the best sales pitch ever.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be, but I am.
He hasn't put it down in 3 years. That's why he's sick of it. He
I hate
can't put
it, but you might not.
eShop. Nintendo.
Yeah, comes out Tuesday.
Buy it. 8/13/19. You won't hate it, I think. I have been playing a game. I actually been playing it for more than a week now, and I still have not passed the very first playthrough. I don't know how to explain what they call them, but I've been playing Super Mutant Alien Assault. I even played it on stream on Friday night. This game is really, really fun. It is a single screen shoot 'em up, essentially, like platform shoot 'em up, where in the stage there are different things you have to do. For example, in one of them you have to carry a canister from the depository and deposit into another area, and you do that 3 times, you get enough fuel, and then you reach the end of the level, you clear the bad guys, and then you move on to the next thing. Throughout the level there's grenades or throwables, as it were, that you could pick up, which is randomly generated, and weapons that are randomly generated. And as you play, you gain power-ups, and you're essentially doing a run, trying to get as far as you can. But everything that you unlock stays unlocked. You just have to start over and find those weapons again. And it's brutal. It is super hard. I know, Andy, you dabbled in it a little bit, and you had a lot of difficulty with the first boss. There's 3 segments in a run, and I think that's the planet, so to speak.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
And I also hate it.
It's great. I mean, it changes the goals that you have to do. There's one where there's these little canisters on either side, and when the light turns red and they spin, you have a few seconds to get there and hit A, and then it releases the pressure, and then the other one will go off. So you got to run over there while you're shooting and dodging bad guys and stuff. And you'll get power-ups like dodge or dash, but you can only have dodge or dash. So the rogue element of it depends on what you get. If you do find the other ones, you can do a loadout where you kind of swap things out. But it's a lot of fun. Apparently you could play cooperatively online, so that's cool. But if you watch us play Duck Game, it's very similar in that aspect where you're just jumping, dodging attacks coming in, and shooting weapons that you pick up on the map. It's a lot of fun. So I highly recommend Super Mutant Alien Assault. So that's what we're playing now. But what could we be playing this week besides Exception? Andy, take it away.
We have Never Give Up, which is what I say myself into this podcast every single week. Just don't give up. Keep doing it.
True.
We have, a little Jason Voorhees action. That's coming out.
Why isn't my link working? This is
I don't
annoying.
know, because the world hates you.
I want to view it.
Friday the 13th, the game Ultimate Slasher Edition. I'm not sure what that entails.
Oh, that's the.
Still looks like garbage.
It just has all the DLC.
Right. We have It'll Do, which is a really great Zelda-esque adventure game.
That'll do.
Uh-huh. We have Vasara Collection, which, okay, never tried those games at all. Looks very weebish to me.
Uh-huh.
We have Rogue Singularity
Nice.
coming out.
Why can't I want to... Dang it!
Is your thing not loading?
It's not loading. I want a release date. Okay, here we go. Coming soon. Oh, that's the other way around. I need it the other way around. Damn you, Scuba Steve.
We have Beholder 2, Cryo Gear, Escape from the Universe,
That's a fun one.
A Node.
Yep. Mm-hmm. A node.
Yep. Far, Lone Sales. And that kind of wraps the week up.
So I think Don't Give Up was something that I think that was I kickstarted that game. Is that the pixelated?
It's your game that you kickstarted.
It's my game. I was the one who kickstarted that entire game. Yes, that was me. Yeah, I don't know why this isn't loading, but that's okay. The good thing.
It's kind of cute. It looks cute.
Yeah, it's about depression. It's about like somebody who gets bullied and like is like working through like not giving up and like fighting the bullies and stuff like that. I don't know. It just looks really cool. So, all right. Well, guess what? There's all that shit. But guess what else is coming out tomorrow when you're listening to this on Monday, hopefully the 12th when it drops. Will, you got this little video game coming out, and it looks like it's going to break my brain. Let's talk about Exception.
Yeah, can I throw out this one thing? I just want to let everybody know there's no depression in my game at all.
No depression, no sadness.
Oh, man, that's a deal breaker for me, Will.
It's not a depression-based game.
This game, after viewing the trailer for this game, like Andy dropped it in our Discord, which you could join by going to patreon.com/NDS podcast and supporting us for as little as $1. He dropped it in there, and I was like, whoa, this looks like it's going to hurt a lot to move this level around. So give people your sell. Like, what's your elevator pitch when you say, oh, this is what my game is?
Yeah, well, Exception is a game that's based inside an old woman's laptop computer. She downloaded some malware off of her email, and it's infected with a virus. And you are inside the machine, and your goal is to try and eradicate the virus and kind of free the system from tyranny.
So essentially, this is Millennial the Simulator.
Based on a true story, I feel.
This is Millennial Problems.
It's like inner space
helping
for the
grandma
age.
with her goddamn computer.
Exactly. But it's fun, though.
Right. So the thing that obviously catches your eye with this thing, first of all, it's beautiful. That's number one. The colors and all that shit is just nuts. It's like neon and it's crazy. But the level, as you're like platforming through, you kind of flip the level to like change the entire perspective of essentially what you're doing. Like if there's a ceiling above you, you can turn the map so like now that ceiling is actually to the left, and now you can move right or whatever. It's bizarre. Can you explain that a little bit? Because I am killing it. I'm destroying it. People are listening and going like, what the fuck is he talking about? Can you help explain that a little better?
Well, I don't know if I can do it better, but yeah, it's a little bit hard to say in words without having a chance to take a look at it. But basically, you start out with a level, and as you progress, there are a couple of points in the level where you can touch an item, and the level will rotate in some way. It will transform in some way. And like you say, kind of flip upside down, that type of thing. And it kind of just adds a little bit of a unique twist to the standard platform mechanics and adds a little bit of variety to that.
Yeah, it's definitely going to hurt my brain. I know I keep saying that, but like just trying to, I'm like, what? How did they flip? It's like almost like mirrored. Like one of them was mirrored, and I was like, oh god, that's gonna break. But like, there was another one where there was like an enemy that was like about to attack the dude, and then he flipped the level, and now there's a wall there, and now the enemy can't get the guy, and he was flipping around. But it's very fast paced, I noticed. So I want to get into, Zach, Buzz Killington in our Discord, he asked a question, and it's a very generic question. So I feel like that's a good place for us to start. So he wants to know what your main inspiration was when you made this game, and he also says that it looks incredible, and he loves how smooth and all of the level transitions are when it's bouncing all over the place. So thank you, Buzz, for complimenting Will. I'm sure he's thrilled.
Yes, I am very thrilled.
Yeah, Buzz likes to always say a little something extra because he knows I want to punch him in his throat.
This is a great podcast.
You don't even know the half of it.
Listen, we love our fans so much, Will.
Buzz was there in my car when we bought the Switch on launch day. He's an old friend of mine from high school, so we love Buzz. But what was your inspiration when you made this video game?
Well, it kind of evolved over time, to be honest. My initial goal was just to kind of take a sort of like a Super Meat Boy style mechanic and add an attack to it, and to kind of just build a game around that. And slowly over time, as I started working on the game, I came across the idea of kind of having levels flip around and transform. And kind of once I started doing that, I thought, well, that's one interesting way of making a game. It hasn't really been done to death yet. So once I saw it in action one or two times, I was kind of ran with it from there. But it really wasn't a planned out type of thing.
So can you talk about what, like, your role? Like, is this something that you did alone? I don't know what the situation is here for Exception. Can you explain your experience and how you got to making this game?
Sure. It's kind of a weird path, I guess, but I started out after I graduated college working in banking in like a risk management type role. And after a long time, just got sick of that and started to learn how to program in my spare time and that type of thing. And then a couple of years into it, I thought, well, I want to do something fun and make a game. And so that's kind of how it led me down this path. So to answer your question, yeah, it's just me doing this. I have a lot of cheats that I like to use. I acquire models and music and all that type of thing and kind of just mash it all together into a game. So even though it looks like there's a lot of different assets in there, there's probably not a whole lot on the visual side that I did myself, so much as it's sort of imported into the game and rigged stuff up and that type of thing. So I cheated in a lot of respects.
How long did it take to make this game? With all the cheats in place.
It's the problem with it was I kind of went into this not knowing what I was doing. And, so it was like kind of a learning process. I made tons and tons of mistakes, and it was a kind of a mix of part-time, full-time. So to answer your question, from start to finish, I think I started around maybe September of 2013. I think that's what it was. So it's been close to 6 years. It's taken forever.
I think like September of last year.
No. I can understand how you would think that, but no, a little bit longer.
Yes, I do it in my spare time. I am unemployed and I live in a hyperbolic time chamber from Dragon Ball Z.
They all make it sound so easy. Every dev on the show, there's always like a little bit of, I did it this way. It wasn't that difficult. It's like, I want to make a game.
No, it was very difficult. I'll be the first developer to be honest with you. It was a huge pain.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the process of getting this from you're messing around with code and you're messing around with game mechanics all the way up to shit. I could get this on like a thing like Nintendo. It can come a knocking. What let's talk. Put me in that mindset. Let's go in the Wayback Machine to however long ago that was.
Yeah, I can walk you through kind of the big events that occurred.
Yeah, hold my hand. Well, take me on a stroll.
Hold your virtual hand. How about that?
Yeah, do it.
So I had been working on the game since 2013, and in the middle of 2017, I was lucky enough to be included on the Indie Mega booth at the PAX West in Seattle. And so, up until that point, I'd just been a guy sitting in a spare bedroom working on a video game, and I'd done a short beta test, but not a lot of people had played the game. And I don't know if you've ever gone through this before, but if you've been working on something for a long time and it kind of look up and think, am I wasting my time here? Is this going to lead to anything useful?
You've heard this podcast, right?
Great.
We've been recording for like 20 minutes. I'm sure we know. Continue.
This is the high quality podcast. But anyways, so I was at PAX West. I was doing a 2-day mini booth, which they set you up with a little kiosk. You fly in, demo your game for 2 days, and then that's kind of the whole deal. But throughout the day, the reception for the game was actually much better than I thought it would be. Lots of positive feedback, and part of that process was, because Seattle is close to Redmond, Washington, where Microsoft is based, a ton of Xbox people were coming by, and it was just people that were not there representing Xbox, but just there in their spare time and seeing all the games and that type of thing. And anyhow, towards the end of the show, a fellow came by and was looking at the game, and he was a little bit older than your standard PAX person, and he had like an assistant with him taking notes, and it turned out to be Chris Charlo, who's the guy that runs the ID at Xbox program. And he kind of said, this would really be a good fit for Xbox. Have you thought about porting it over to Xbox? And that was probably maybe a month or two away from releasing just on Steam. So, I was really close to pulling the trigger. And so when we talked, he gave me his card, and I was kind of blown away that they would actually, consider putting the game on there. It just never entered my mind that console would be an option. And so followed up with them when I got back and got set up on the ID at Xbox program. They ship you a couple of development kits, which is really, really neat. and kind of started down that road. And then I thought, well, if I'm going to spend extra time on Xbox, maybe I can get PlayStation. And so reached out to PlayStation, and they gave me the green light to start, writing the game for that, and which was fantastic. I grew up with the Nintendo, the original NES, and the idea of being able to produce any kind of console game, that people can play in their homes was just mind-boggling to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so from there, continued developing, and the process of developing for consoles is an absolute hellish nightmare, especially for someone like me who doesn't really know what they're doing. So going through that process, continued forward, and I did a couple of events with Microsoft. They had a big setup at GDC, and I was able to show the game there. And they had another one in PAX the following year at their Microsoft campus. But anyways, at PAX West 2018, I was back in the Indie Mega booth, and it's a fun event, also a little bit exhausting. And I was showing the game, talking to people, that type of thing. And a fellow comes over and starts asking me about if I thought about porting it to Switch. And people, I don't know if you've been to any of these shows before, but game fans love the Switch. It's their favorite thing in the whole wide world.
Oh yeah.
So everybody asks about, is it coming to Switch? Is it coming to Switch? And again, I figured, well, the game is a little bit of a performance hog in some respects, and I'm not sure if the Switch would have the horsepower to be able to run it.
Interesting.
But anyhow, yeah, because I had to make some tweaks to it to get it to go run pretty smoothly on Xbox and PlayStation. So in my mind, I was thinking Switch has no chance of running this. But anyhow, the guy I was talking to said, well, I can put you in touch with some groups that will help you port the game and that type of thing. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, who is this guy? Comes up to me and tell me about doing Switch stuff, and he hands me his business card, and he's like the the developer relations guy for Nintendo. So I was like, oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah. Maybe this guy knows what he's talking about.
Who the hell is this Reggie Phil Zame?
Phil Zame guy.
Yeah. He looks kind of familiar. I couldn't tell who he was, but anyhow, that was kind of how all this unfolded, and I ended up, going down the road with Nintendo, and getting the hardware and everything, and actually, porting it over to Switch was a lot easier than I thought it would be. It's much more powerful than I thought it was, and I'm just tickled to have it out there.
I think it's amazing how you went from only eyeing a Steam release to fuck it, it's going everywhere now. Wherever I can get this thing, it's going to go there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of like, once you start going down that road, I was figuring, well, why stop now? I mean, I put, so many years into this thing already. What's another 6 months to a year to get it to another system? And so far, it's worked out okay.
That is nuts. I love those kind of stories. It warms my heart,
So, I imagine, I mean, you come from the world of finance. Like, what are the people that are still in your life from that side of the world? What do they think about you not only quitting that world, which I'm sure was lucrative, to lock yourself in a spare bedroom and make a video game? And not only that, but now your video game is on Nintendo. What are those conversations like?
It's funny. Once I left banking, it's kind of this weird, it's not related to video games, but as soon as you leave something, it seems like your value seems to go up because you can have the ability to say no to things. And after I left, I had some other opportunities pop up. So currently, I work 3 days a week in a bank that's right around the corner from me. And then the other 4 days, I work on this game stuff. But to answer your question, the people that I work with are, they're great people, but they're not game fans. They like football and, golf and all those regular things. And so when I start talking about the stuff I'm, working on with games, it means absolutely nothing to them whatsoever. They could care less. But they think everything is on the app store. So they say, okay, your game's going to the app store next week. I was like, well, sort of. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but yes, it's going on
several app stores.
Can I get it on my iPhone?
You have them bleeps and bloops, huh? You got them bleeps and bloops? We got to blow in the cartridge?
Yeah, they think it's an app.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess. We're still trying to rid ourselves of the stigma of downloadable games being lesser than. We're still doing that. Meanwhile, like most quote unquote downloadable smaller games are multiple times larger than the games that we played prior to 2001. Like just in size and scale and scope. It's insane. It's insane what people are doing these days. So So you did this thing all by yourself. Are you going to continue to do this shit all by yourself? Are you going to get out there? Are you going to make a thing? Are you going to make a team? Are you going to make a super team?
I can answer that question next week.
Interesting.
You should buy his yachts first and then assemble the team. That's how it works. Steven.
Right. Wait a minute. Is that what Yacht Club Games did?
They were the first.
They were the first. They bought the yacht and they were like, okay, now we could start the company. What are we going to do?
Oh, so they bought the yacht first, then the game company?
Yes.
Yeah, I was listening to your old podcast before we came on, and you were talking about picking out a yacht for all the developers to come on. So immediately I started looking at boats. So.
Heard that. See, you did some research.
Oh, my God.
You listened to the show. See, we fear people are going to actually listen to the show first. That's always a fear of ours. Like, oh, shit.
Yeah, you should go in clean and pure.
They're going to listen, and then they're going to say that they got something came up.
Oh, my God.
It's a great podcast.
Guy or some shit.
These guys are insane.
I do have one suggestion for you if you're open to it.
Sure. Why not?
Open.
When I was pulling up I was looking for the podcast to kind of watch the old ones. I did a search for, I think, like the NDS podcast, and Google pulls up the National Disability Service of Australia for me as my top result.
Perfect. This is all perfect.
There's a lot of competition there.
That is, searchability.
And they have a podcast.
Oh my God, they do, don't they?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Well, we have some.
It could be worse. It could get the National Dildo Society for all we know.
We could get that.
So what we'll do is start doing some backlinks or something to kind of build your position above the disability service, and then it's just going to be floodgates.
That's it. That's all we have to do, really, if you think about it. So
and then flood the gates. That's when you buy a yacht.
Flood the shit out of those gates. So, exception, single player only. Are there any cool modes? Is it just like you play through the levels? Like, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's a single player game. There's really no other outside interaction, but you do have each level. There's 128 levels. Each level has a leaderboard, so you can kind of see where you stack up against other players as far as time goes. And one other kind of interesting twist on it is that in addition to keeping times for each level, you can rack up bonuses. So if you do some sort of elaborate attack and use some kind of creative thinking to come up with some different additional bonus opportunities, you can knock your score down better than you would just from a straight time.
So is like when you were building this, was time kind of one of the mechanics you wanted to deal with? Like is it a race against time, or can you casually go through the level and just kind of bounce around and figure shit out?
Yeah, there are a couple levels where you have like some sort of big obstacle that kind of follows you through the level to kind of nudge you along. But I'd say probably 99% or 95% of the levels, you have the option to take your time and go through them. I like the idea of having some sort of time mechanic in there, and it gives you a rating based on how good your time is. But it's interesting. I kind of built the game with some speed running features built into it. Although I myself am not a speed runner and am not really enthralled by that type of thing.
I am just god awful at that shit.
Yeah, I'm terrible.
All right. So, what is there anything else that you can tell people about this game that we don't know? Because I mean, honestly, all I know is the trailer, and I'm looking at that. I'm like, ooh, I want to do that. Are there like power ups? Is it just going through slice and dice, bouncing off walls, flipping the levels? Talk to me a little bit about that.
All of the above. I mean, you can do all those things. There are some, as you progress through the game, you can unlock, I think there's 5 or 6 special attacks. And within those, you can perform upgrades to make them more effective, that type of thing. Each of the 128 levels has a hidden object somewhere in the level. And that's sort of the currency you use to buy the upgrades to the special attacks and that type of thing. So as you play through, you'll have to make a choice as to which attacks you upgrade and that sort of thing.
Little light RPG elements, Andy. I'm liking what I'm hearing.
That sounds great. I have one question though.
Okay, ask it.
The keyest, the most important question I could possibly ask.
Okay, top tier question here
in this segment. The email that Grandma got, was it from a Nigerian prince?
Ooh, gosh. When I put it together, I was doing sort of this little cinematic things. And I actually made a screen for the email, and I think it just says it's not from a Nigerian prince, but it does say like download softwares with a deliberate misspelling in there. So it could be from a Nigerian prince, but he doesn't claim that he is.
It could also be from the IRS or Microsoft. Those are my favorite.
It could be a Bill Gates, chain
David
letter.
Joe or Jonathan Hank.
Hello, my name is Robert, and I am calling to let you know that your
My name is
Microsoft
David.
is expired.
David. My name is David.
My name is David. Okay,
Yeah.
David. Yes.
You'll appreciate
I need
also
the
that.
now. Do you have to get a Walmart gift card to beat the game? Is that's also
Yes, you have
how
to
these
buy
things
gift
usually
cards.
work?
Or
It's riddled with microtransactions
Got
and
it.
intrusive
Perfect.
advertisements.
excellent. Perfect.
Perfect in every way.
And I'm gonna shut down the Steam version and open up exclusively on the Epic Store after about a week.
God bless America. This is a beautiful country. It's a beautiful country. Free market, ladies and gentlemen. Fucking Steam nerds. You nerds! Love it. All right. So, Andy, you got any more questions? Or was there anything from
No,
the
let's say the game is out tomorrow. Go fucking buy that shit.
Go
people.
buy it. Go buy it. And
Buy it now.
Buzz, I can't believe I'm about to say this on the air live to our guest, Will. Buzz literally begged us to ask you that for a Xbox code for the game because he is a loser and he
deserves
Thanks
no
for
free shit from us. So if you say no, I'll be ecstatic.
I'll tell you, all the keys are currently in possession of my PR group. However, if they'll shoot me an email, I will forward it to them and see if we can get on that.
You see that, Buzz? Do you see that? See what we do for you here? We just made ourselves look like goddamn beggars for you.
Actually, can you get Buzz to send it to you and then you send it to me so I know which one is Buzz and not anybody else trying to trick me?
Heard that.
Great idea.
Actually, I'm just gonna send it to you. I'm just gonna send you an email because I don't want Buzz to even. I don't want him having anything to do with this. I'm actually ashamed that I even mentioned.
He's
his
already
name.
way too involved as it is.
Yeah,
What about
he's-
this? What if I send you the code and you can hold it over his head to make him do whatever you want?
We can
before you
make
give
him
it to
guess. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna Buzz. We're gonna make you guess every single letter of the code. That's what we're gonna do. When you get
all 250 million variations, you're gonna have to go through them. Yeah.
you are going to have to. You're gonna send us what you think the code is.
To
Okay.
be fair though, we'll give you 10 tries.
No. We're gonna give him unlimited tries. The game is gonna be on Game Pass by the time he gets this thing right. What we're gonna do is we're gonna tell
He's
you.
gonna be an old man opening up an email 50 years from now,
Send us-
living the game.
Send us whatever code you think it is, and the ones that are correct we'll highlight in green, and we'll send it back to him, and then he'll guess other shit, and we'll just constantly send this back to you. Buzz, this is what we're gonna do for you because we love you, bud. Because we love you. All right.
What if I send you 100 codes and only one of them is the correct code?
Oh,
my God,
it's
do it.
so much better.
do it.
Please do that. Oh my god. Okay, but eventually one of those codes could be a real code. That's the scary part. Okay, that is the lead story. That is exception. And Will, I think we
exceptional,
just
my
became
friend.
I think we just became best friends. You know who's not best friends, Andy? As we get into the Nintendo news report,
Who?
we have figured out why EA won't support the Switch.
Oh yeah, those big dumb idiots.
We figured it out. So they came out and they're like, oh, we just don't think our players want to play on the Switch. No, it's because of this. This is coming from GoNintendo.com. Quote, Nintendo to require developers/publishers to disclose loot box odds. That is
Goddamn
why EA.
right.
But right after this, PlayStation and Microsoft also came out and said they are doing the same. So EA is sweating right now. What do you mean? We have to tell you. They're going to change the odds, right? They're not just going to
have to.
They're going
to make it look less scummy.
Yeah, right? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Can we make loot boxes for the I did actually want to make loot boxes. Remember for the $100 Patreon tier, we were going to do loot boxes. We were going to send people random shit from our house.
Yeah, an old pair of socks and
Just some tchotchkes from my desk. Here's a fake plant that I'll sign for you.
an empty box of cereal.
64 box tops for education. It's just all sorts. Anyway, so yeah, this is a quote. In here it says Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony would now require developers and publishers to disclose loot box odds to consumers. Quote, I am pleased to announce that this morning that Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony have indicated to ESA a commitment to new platform policies with respect to the use of paid loot boxes in games that are developed for their platforms. Specifically, this would apply to new games and game updates that add loot box features, and it would require the disclosure of the relative rarity or probabilities of obtaining randomized virtual items in games that are available on their platform. I really think they should just give us an a la carte option to buy whatever the fuck we want. Is it really that hard? I guarantee you.
Yeah, it's
it's so stupid. I hate it.
Yeah, I
so
mean, with
much.
these things, I always feel like it's not like gambling where when you go to a casino, it's how it's stacked against you. The house always wins in the casino.
They always put the odds there for you.
Yeah, but you go there thinking you might get lucky because if casinos were created that were designed to make people win, they'd be bankrupt.
Correct.
There wouldn't be no more casinos anymore. But I feel like with this system, like I'm giving you money up front. I am buying something. It's not a chance to win more money. It's I'm buying a product. I'm buying a skin or whatever the fuck it's going to be.
Right.
So that should be left up to chance. That's the big difference I feel with gambling and what loot boxes are. So I feel like full transparency. Let me just buy the fucking thing and call it a day.
I will give you I'll give you $10.
If I want, I'll buy it.
I want this vest. Yeah. I want this stupid vest.
That damn vest.
Let me give you $10 for the stupid vest. Yes, that's $10 is really expensive for the stupid vest, but I'd rather do that than spend $20 on 10 loot boxes that I won't get the damn vest. Breaking
news, there is a upcoming vest DLC for Exception coming out.
Yeah, I'm taking notes over here.
Yeah, it's called Vestibule. Exceptional Vestibule. That's what it's called.
Vestception.
Veststepular. What are your thoughts on this loot box bullshit, Will?
It's I was just thinking, a lot of this stuff, it reminds me when I was a kid when we had baseball cards. And I don't know if you remember way back in the day. I mean, you buy a pack of baseball cards and they'd have these rare inserts they put in there. Sometimes it'd be like an autograph card or you get like the special limited edition one. So this mechanic that kind of scratches that gambling itch for kids has kind of been around for a long time. And, I'm not saying that's an excuse to do it, but I wish both of them would go away. To be honest with you, like you said, if you want something, you should just be able to buy it. And trying to sucker people into this gambling thing, especially children, to me, this is distasteful.
Yeah, I mean, if you could trade the items to somebody like you can with trading cards, like if you buy 100 booster packs and you don't get the 3 cards you want, you still have a bunch of stuff that has value that you can go to somebody and say, I'll give you these for the cards I'm missing. And they're like, oh, cool, that completes my set. Everybody's happy. But with these digital goods, it's like, no, none of like Steam had that for a little while where you could like trade items, right? Like in like the Steam store or whatever. But yeah, it's like I had said, it's I always used to play Pokemon cards. I would play Mage Knight. It was always about getting those cool figures that were rare or whatever. But the difference was I had to actually earn currency, have the currency in my hand, go walk to the store, and by then I will have to have not bought a soda or a bag of chips with that money, what got into the store, physically handed the dollar bills to the person, and then he hands me the thing and change back. Now it's just like, press A to buy. Press A to buy.
You know that it's
this is a
bad.
credit card. I have $1,000 on this credit card. Buy.
You know what's gone bad when Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony, and the ESA all agree on something.
Yeah, they don't want the government. That's what they don't
exactly.
want.
Well, the sleaziest thing to me always when I start a game up and they try and kind of like guide you down this path of getting used to opening loot boxes. It's like, here's 3 for free. After that, you got to start paying for them. It's just that it's almost like a crack cocaine, drug type thing where they sucker you into it.
Is the unspoken guest of the podcast, by the way, several times on the show.
I noticed there's like a mobile game trend where they always do like you have packs to open, and then you'll open the thing and it'll always be really cool shit in the beginning, and they're like, you could use these diamonds and you could get more of these packs. And you're like, yeah, I have 5 diamonds. They gave me 5 free diamonds. I could spend 5 diamonds, get another loot thing. And then you get it and it's like, oh, this loot sucks. You're like, yeah, but only for $1.99 you could get 5 more diamonds. And you're like, but it could be as good as that first one that I got, which was really cool shit. And then you do it and you're like, well, this was fucking terrible. And then you owe the credit card company $250 on Pokemon.
I guess you guys saw the thing the other day about how I guess when streamers were opening packs online, that they would manipulate the odds to make them have more, like you said, better loot for people that are streaming to kind of entice people to think the odds are different than they really were.
That's really fucked up.
It really is.
What? Who did that?
The scummiest shit ever.
Yeah, I saw an article somewhere. I kind of just skimmed through it, but yeah, basically they would keep an eye out or partner with a streamer, and then on the back end they would tweak it so that when the streamer opens stuff up, they would get better things.
See, those people should
Holy
be there
shit.
should be corporal punishment. They should be
They
put
should
to
be
death.
shot in front of their families.
All right, let's move along. We got some Pokemon news, ladies and gentlemen. There is a region-specific Pokemon coming through, and there's a few, and this one could have been the hype zone, but
Right, could have been. Yeah,
I mean, we'll get into the other
it
ones.
was close. It was really close.
Galarian Weezing in Pokemon Sword and Shield is adorable.
Is a bong.
He looks like a bong, and he's a gentleman. He's a proper gentleman.
Yes, with a little like gas stash and beard going on.
Now I'm gonna open this, and I'm hoping it's not a. Okay, it's not. I was hoping it wasn't a video. So yeah, he looks like it's Weezing, and he looks like he's got these top hats, but they're also smokestacks. And
He's a monocle. Why no monocle?
Yeah, why no monocle? That's true.
Right?
We also have
Side note,
Yes.
he's a poison fairy type?
Yes.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah.
It's a little weird.
A little
a little
dainty
weird.
British wheezing.
I say, Weezing.
Ooh, I love Galarian Zigzagoon, though.
Yes, we do have Galarian form Zigzagoon, and then he also has a region-specific third evolution to
Which is
Obstagoon.
weird.
Yes, and he
That's
looks
weird.
like a member of Kiss, and it's really cool. And I like that.
It's strange how he gets a third form in a specific region, which
I
means
know.
all the other ones couldn't evolve wherever they were from.
Well, they weren't surrounded by 1970s UK punk scene, obviously.
Mhm.
Obviously. So yeah, we have.
But the best of the best is our good buddy here, Morpeko,
more Pico. Yeah,
which he has two forms based on if he's hungry or not.
right.
So he gets legit. He has a hangry mode.
Yes.
If he gets hangry, he'll change form, and even his attacks can change as well.
Yes, and he looks real mad. So
This
when
is
he's hangry,
peak
he's
Pokemon.
electric dark.
Right.
No, I'm sorry. He is electric dark. When he's hangry, he goes dark, and when he's normal, he's electric. It's always hungry, no matter how much it eats. Morpeko constantly generates electricity with its sacs in its cheeks, just like Pikachu. This consumes energy, causing Morpeko to be constantly hungry. This is why Morpeko is always carrying around berry seeds, protecting them with care. They serve
his
as a
pocket.
snack. Its appearance changes when it's hungry. When experiencing prolonged hunger, the balance of hormones within Morpeko's body changes.
First of all, I want to say, did you read the tweet here? What they said? Pokemon official Twitter said, when describing Morpeko and his hangry attitude, they said, retweet if you can relate. We've crossed the threshold, gentlemen. What is happening?
Will, what's happening, Will?
You lost me when you started talking about the hormone stuff.
Yeah. He's got sacs in his cheek and his hormones are out of whack. Okay, let's move along.
I thought this was like a PG podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You heard old episodes. You should have known better.
This is an interesting story here. This is from Gizmodo. Nintendo Switch reportedly getting screen upgrade, fixing one of its biggest user complaints. Within the last month, Nintendo has announced a cheaper and more portable version of the Switch in the upcoming Switch Lite, along with a hardware revision for the existing Switch, boasting greatly improved battery life, among other improvements. But now, while we wait for these systems to hit the market, it seems the Switch is getting another upgrade in the form of a new display. According to a report by the Wall Street Journal, which apparently has been leaking video game news like all generation now, it's weird, Japanese electronics maker Sharp will supply IGZO screens for the Nintendo to Nintendo for use in future Switch models. If true, this would be a major improvement for the Switch and possibly the Switch Lite, as one of the biggest complaints about the Switch is Nintendo's use of lackluster display tech. By opting to use Sharp's screens in the Switch, Nintendo could take advantage of the smaller transistors in these displays to increase the system's overall power efficiency. Screens based on Exotech, which is an acronym for the indium gallium zinc oxide, for you fucking nerds out there, used to make Sharp's semiconductors. They tend to have better transparency than silicon-based displays, which reduces the need for brighter backlighting and could even help eliminate the cloudiness or haziness that often plagues the current Switch's screen. I don't have a problem with my Switch screen, but better sounds like a good idea to me, boys.
I'm into it. I'll allow it.
Now, one of us in here probably knows if this is a thing, because he's got them big, bright pixels happening. Dropping on 8, 13, 19. Now, I don't want to get him in trouble. I don't want him to confirm that this is a real thing, but he doesn't even have to say anything.
Well, if I did know, I would tell you.
Hey, what's up, Will?
Yeah, what's going on? Oh, you talking about me?
Oh, what's up, man? How's it going, man?
Yeah. I wish I knew something to share.
We're just joshing, but that's great. That's great news. These are the kind, like, handheld systems get these types of upgrades, I feel, more often than their big brother console, their console big brothers. Like, yes, we get the revisions, the sleeker form factors. We're already getting that with the Switch Lite. PlayStation had the slim version come out of PS4 and PS3. Chips get smaller. They could fit them in smaller spaces. They, better cooling, yada yada. But the PSP and the Vita, they always got those screen upgrades like LCD, LED, no physical drives or whatever. So this is pretty cool that they're going to continue to upgrade the Switch. Andy, what are your thoughts?
I like my Switch screen. I've never had any huge complaints against it, but making it better is always, I'm not gonna knock that.
They could save it for the Pro, right?
Right, and I think that's a better move, because I feel like, am I missing out now? Is there a better version of what I have? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's weird. Being an early adopter is always,
it's a problem.
Always run that risk,
it's a disease.
Yeah, which we are. But
we are.
Will,
what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a disease.
Perfect. Love
it. That's great.
No, but I don't know. I think most of the Switch games I've seen, the graphical fidelity, a lot of the titles are pixel based and that type of thing. I'm just not sure if I've ever found the screen to be lacking.
Right.
Andy.
Well, you'll find that when you play Friday the 13th in a couple days.
Oh, good Lord.
No one's gonna play that. Come on.
Man, that was hard. That was hard to play on PS4 when it first came out. I cannot imagine the disaster it's going to be on the Switch. I cannot even fathom what that is going to run like.
Speaking of disasters.
Yeah. What the hell is happening here, Andy, on this final story of the Nintendo News Report?
So this I added at the last second. I just saw it on NintendoLife.com.
How is this not the hype zone?
I don't know.
I know. The hype zone is even better. That's why.
Apparently, there's a new Cooking Mama game that's been in the works for a long time.
Yeah. Will, brace yourself, buddy.
Finally.
It's coming out this fall.
You don't sound like a gentleman that is going to appreciate what he's about to say.
So, here are the details, guys. In a press release issued by Planet Digital Partners, the game is referred to as Cooking Mama, Coming Home to Mama. That's a great title for a game.
Good title.
And is described as a reboot of the top-selling family-friendly series. It's coming out in fall 2019, and will add, wait for it,
here it is,
a vegetarian mode.
Whoa.
Read that quote. I need this quote, Andy.
Oh, God. Okay.
Just the first quote. Do you want me to do it?
Also new to Cooking Mama
Yeah.
will be a vegetarian mode, where players who do not wish to prepare meals with meat ingredients will be able to cook creative, alternate meatless recipes. Players will be able to cook in both traditional mode and vegetarian mode, and blend motion gestures from the Nintendo Switch with traditional controls for an immersive meal prep, and cooking experience through each minigame played.
Wow.
I'm sure Peter is thrilled about this option. Thrilled.
I wasn't on board with Cooking Mama before, but now I am.
Now, it gets a little bit weirder with this announcement.
Yeah, this next part is real weird.
So
Wait, there's more?
Oh God, yes, there is. Will.
Apparently, they're integrating blockchain tech into this game as well for some reason. Like, why is cryptocurrency being involved with Cooking Mama? It's so bizarre.
Because we've known it all along. Mama is a pimp.
Now, there's one little cool thing, though.
Uh-huh.
The idea of selling back or being able to sell a digital copy of a game.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of neat.
Gaming is a $135 billion industry with little opportunity to invest outside of the large public game publishers. We are using blockchain to add new, innovative gameplay that investors can now have equity in. What is happening?
Yeah,
Putting
I don't
aspects
know.
of Cooking Mama on chain will take the user experience to a whole new level, reinvigorate a popular game franchise that many grew. No. Who?
Yeah,
How?
unnecessary.
What is this? Do they not know their audience? Yeah. Hey, Timmy, I know you're 9 and all, but blockchain, bro.
I'm imagining some like apocalyptic future where like everybody transacts money through the Cooking Mama blockchain.
Cooking Mama, coming home to Mama, blockchain.
Yeah.
Best video game title ever.
And now, if that wasn't hype zone enough for you, we're getting into the real hype zone, Will. So please brace yourself. This is going to get a little silly. This is actually huge news, this could mean the beginning of AAA, top-notch, high-fidelity video games coming to the Nintendo Switch. Okay? Death Stranding is no longer listed as a PlayStation 4 exclusive.
Whoa. You know what that means?
You know what that means. Will, you know what that means.
It's coming to the Switch.
Nintendo Switch confirmed.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what they
You
did.
heard it here, folks.
You heard it here first, guys. People are out here being like, oh, that's because it's coming to the PC. Nay, sir. Nay.
Come to the Switch. Now, listen, my initial reaction to this news was that, of course, they were just bought out by Xbox Game Studios.
Right.
That was our first guess.
Right.
But then I dug deeper.
Yeah,
and the real truth
Did
emerged.
some real journalism.
I really think that it's going to not be on the PS4 at all. It's going to be removed altogether and be a Switch exclusive. How about that?
Switch exclusive.
How about that?
Let me
Kojima.
ask you now, Will, you programmed for the Nintendo Switch, or at least you know a bit of what porting a game to the Switch is like. How much of this game, the beginning cinematic, how much of it would run before the Switch explodes?
I don't know. If you could lower the resolution to 720p, I think you could get probably a solid 35 seconds.
I think it would get as far as a Hideo Kojima game, and then it would explode in your hands.
Yeah, it wouldn't even give you the sound. It wouldn't even give you the music. But I think this. I mean, wow, this is huge, guys.
Yep. Hey, this podcast, we're all about breaking the news that matters.
You heard it here first, guys.
First, that vest news for Exception. That was the first bit we did. And now this?
Yeah,
I'm telling you guys.
It's too much for one podcast.
Yeah, it's true.
it is.
This podcast may explode.
It really is. All right, before we get into the final segment of the show, which is all about the Retro Game Club, I'm going to tell you about our beautiful sponsor, our brand new sponsor this week, Melted Pins. This week's sponsor is Melted Pins. Melted Pins is a fantastic website that sells unique and original tattoo art inspired pins, buttons, and other merchandise. Artist Kelsey Lynn, who has done work for this podcast, who has drawn stuff for us and will continue to do so because her work is fantastic. She has done stuff not only for our show, but for websites all over the place, including us. You can check out her awesome designs and buy your own by going to meltedpins.com. That's meltedpins.com. And you use the checkout code. That's right. We have our own checkout code, Andy.
Oh my God,
NDS
I feel
melted.
so official. Oh my God.
That's The checkout code is NDS Melted. NDS Melted, and you get 10% off your purchase. You can follow Melted Pins on all social media at Melted Pins. So simple. Branding, people. That's meltedpins.com, promo code NDS Melted. And now
This podcast would melt after all those bombshells we let loose earlier.
Death Stranding. All right. Retro Game Club. This is a beautiful game. Will, you're going to have some fun with me. All right. This is a game where we try and guess what Andy's trying to tell us about. He's going to give us 10 clues, one by one, and after each clue, we could either guess or we could pass to the next clue. Now, here's why we would pass. We only get 3 guesses total between the two of us. We're a team. We could talk out loud. We could try and figure this shit out. The clues will get more and more obvious as he goes along, but the sooner we get the game, the more points I get. And I am down 12 points right now. That's more than a week.
You need it.
Andy's up 29-17. The game I gave last week was some bullshit, which I literally wrote in the doc because I forgot I was doing the Retro Game Club. So I just Googled. I was like, "Here, games," and I just picked one. So this is going to be a game that appeared on on a Nintendo console from the GameCube and back. GameCube and back.
Can I ask one clarifying question?
Of course. Sure.
Will the points be issued on the Cooking Mama blockchain?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
As of this podcast,
I'm in now.
This recording.
We have to know our audience.
Yes.
Okay. I'm on board.
All right. Cool. All right.
Andy, hit me with that first question, baby.
All right. This platforming game was released on the Super Nintendo in 1993.
93. Okay. Right in the heyday. Platforming game.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of options here.
One
might say too many options.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the best part of the first clue.
Yeah.
In broad strokes.
For all.
Unless it was you last week where we guessed in 2 clues.
Right. Yeah, I was.
I think we should venture a guess just to increase the pressure on ourselves.
No.
No. I like how Will thinks.
He says ourselves, but he's done
He
after
wants
this.
that blockchain money.
Yeah, he does want that blockchain money. I want at least one more clue. Can we get one more clue, Andy? For 9 points.
Sure.
For 9 points.
Sure. This game was also released on the Sega Genesis.
Wow.
Okay. That narrows it down to about 275 games.
And what else? What was the third one?
Oh, Microsoft Windows. So PC.
Windows.
Okay.
Windows. So Windows and the Sega Genesis.
That would have been before Windows 95, though, right? So that would have been the old Windows.
Windows 93?
No, 311.
Oh, no.
Well, to be fair here, on Wikipedia, it says that the PC release was 95.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting.
Huh. Are we allowed to venture guesses to one another?
Yeah, you can discuss amongst
we can talk.
yourselves. See what you're feeling like.
There was a Pitfall game that came out early in Windows 95 history.
Interesting.
It was like some sort of Pitfall remake type thing. That's my number one.
Do you think they called it Super Pitfall, like a bunch of jerk-offs?
I'm not sure if they did or not.
Because it was on the Super Nintendo, because that's just what they do. Huh.
That's not worth venturing a guess on, but that's just my thought.
If it, you know what? I like that guess because I actually went to like Prince of Persia. That's where my head went.
They had, I think, Prince of Persia 2. I think came out on DOS in like maybe around 1990 or early 90s. I can't remember.
I think the Pitfall game was called Pitfall Adventure.
Could have been.
I think that's what it was called. I don't know.
I would not suggest we guess with that, though. I think we might need another clue.
Yeah, all right. Let's get another clue, Andy.
This game was the first in a series of games.
So it's not Pitfall.
This was franchised. This had multiple game entries, but this is the first one. This is the one that started it all.
Do you think he would be tricksy
God.
and he would pick like? No, I think those were exclusive to Super Nintendo. I don't think they came to Genesis. I'm thinking like Earthworm Jim. Games like that.
That's a good guess. I think that would have come out on PC around 95 too.
Mm. The last time I played that game, it was on my PSP. Ain't that weird? And they made 2 of those, right? And they're making another one now.
I just remember playing the first one. I think they made a 3D one at some point, didn't they?
For Xbox? Because Xbox likes to do that nonsense. 93 might have been too early for it, though. Yeah, I don't think it came out in 93. I think it came out in 95.
Yeah, 94, 95 sounds about right.
Yeah. It's a good year. And yeah, they did make a 3D one, didn't they? Yeah. They like doing that. 2D games don't translate to 3D very well. Like Mario was like the exception. Series of games. Okay, series. Let's think. Did you, Andy, to clarify, did you say they're still making these games today?
I never said that.
Okay. I would like to ask a yes or no question, and by doing so, Will, we forfeit one of our guesses. Do you think it would behoove us if if we knew if they were still making this franchise?
I think it would be helpful.
Okay. Andy, are they still making games in this franchise?
The answer is yes.
Interesting.
All right, next clue.
Thank you.
All right.
This is 10, 9, 8.
It's your third clue.
This is for... Okay, for 8 points.
Okay. This franchise was deeply inspired and influenced by Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic. Ooh, Vector Man? Vector Man kind of reminds me of Sonic. I don't know why. Did they make multiple? No, they're not making Vector Man now. But okay. But let's think about this.
God, I wish they were, though.
They're still making these games today. It was inspired by Sonic. Oh.
It had to be like what a fast-moving...
Or just like a mascot, like a anthropomorphic animal that talks and is like super 90s, like, whoa, look at me, I'm a cool guy. Let's think about this. Guns. Would it have weapons? Do you think it has, or do you think it's just a strictly jumping on people's heads type game?
I think if it was going to be a Sonic type thing, you'd have to have a pretty soft, aesthetic to it. So probably no blood and guts.
Mm.
But it might have some cartoonish style violence to it, though.
Well, let's think about... So if they're still making these games today, most of like my platformer knowledge from in this specific sphere come from PlayStation. That's my problem. So it's going to be... If it was heavily inspired by Sonic, then it's a 2D platformer. It's probably not a 3D platformer.
Mm-hmm. Plus, the hardware at that time wouldn't be able to run anything 3D.
Right.
Mode 7.
Yeah.
Not a clue. Not a clue. Not a clue.
Oddworld. No, that wouldn't be Sonic inspired because those were really slow moving. And that was PlayStation, I think.
Correct.
But I don't know. They could have made like one of those silly games 2D. Or like back then. I don't know. Don't yell at me.
Well, also one thing, I guess if they're still making them today, then the manufacturer must still be around, hopefully. So I'm just trying to think that would narrow the field down to just a small handful of companies that still exist.
Or it was bought and sold 100 times. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
a lot of the platformers back then that went to Windows were like Disney games too.
Yeah, that's true.
But like, I can't think of a franchise from like a Disney game franchise that would have continued on. I mean,
or would have been designed as around a Sonic type of thing. This is a hard game.
Next clue.
Yeah, all right. Next clue.
Okay. This might help you a lot,
Okay.
actually.
Okay.
The game's title is a pun based off of a 1977 science fiction film.
Huh. 77. Science fiction. Lost in Space was the 60s, right?
Yeah, it was a TV show.
77. It's like
That'd be like around Star Wars, wouldn't it?
Oh.
It's Spaceballs, a video game.
Yeah.
Interesting. Star Wars. Claw. Cats? Are cats involved? They wouldn't be still making cat games. I'm trying, dude. I'm trying. All right, let's get the next clue, Andy.
Okay.
I think we're almost there. I think we're gonna get it.
I think you're touching on some things, but let's go on the next clue. The game consisted of 16 levels, and you start out with 9 lives.
Oh, it is a cat. God damn it. Empire Strikes Back. No, that was... Yeah, Empire Strikes Back was... 7...
I think, early 80s maybe? Like 81 maybe?
Return of the Jedi was 81.
Maybe, yeah.
No, it was 83. I'm getting them mixed up with Rocky, and that's really sad.
What?
Yeah. I think I feel like the original Star Wars A New Hope was 76. And then I think it was 76, 79, 81. Those are the years that are popping in my head.
I've got an idea.
Yeah, go ahead, ask me what.
Possibly Buster Douglas boxing for the Sega Genesis.
Buster Douglas boxing.
You got me thinking about Rocky.
Yeah. Now you're just off on a tangent. All right, so if it's got to be Star Wars, and now it's cats. So Paw Wars, Paw. What are they still making? Bubsy? Was there a Bubsy game? Because they are making a Bubsy game. I swear.
Do we have to know the?
But Bubsy's Microsoft, isn't it? Oh, god damn it.
Yeah.
Are we going next clue, gentlemen?
Shut up, Andy. Nobody asked you. God damn.
Before you start Googling shit.
I kind of want to go with Bubsy. I think it's a Bubsy game. But I don't know the name of it. Because that makes sense. Bubsy. He was kind of a cat, right? Yeah, he was a cat.
Yeah, it'd have to have something with wars in it or star, some sort of rhyme.
It's going to be like Empire Strikes Back or some shit. Because that was...
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back was the middle one. I feel like that was like...
I'm gonna next clue you.
I'm going to punch you in the throat when I see
Taking
you.
way too goddamn long.
All right, fine.
All right. In this game, where you play as a wisecracking bobcat, the levels had pun names as well, such as Claws for Alarm, No Time for Pause, Eye of the Bobcat, and Lethal Wooly.
It's not Star Wars. What were other science fiction? What was Spielberg doing? He was doing something. I'm sure of it.
I think in 77 he might have been too young to do anything big.
Was E.T. his big breakout?
Yeah, I think that was early 80s.
Who did Close Encounters?
I think that was Spielberg.
I think that was before E.T. Because it wasn't like, and I think there's a Bubsy game that has to do with Close Encounters, and I think it was the first one, and I don't know the title of the game.
Maybe it's like Claws Encounters or something.
Oh, that'd be the worst.
Yeah.
What's Google telling you there, Steven?
No, let's do this. Let's figure this pun out.
Eyeing your phone like a mile away.
My phone is nowhere to be found, buddy.
It's in the lower left-hand corner.
It's not his phone; it's his iPad.
That's my Switch over here. Well, Star Wars would be Claw Wars, but I don't think it's Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
E.T. was 80, 81. Plan 9 from Outer Space, when was that? That was the 50s, right? Science fiction.
I've ever seen that.
I hate you, Andy.
I love you so much.
I hate you so much.
It was all for this one moment to talk about this one game. What could possibly go wrong?
Claws Encounters, I like that, though. If that's not a game, can we make that a game? Claws Encounters. What was it? It was Close Encounters. What was the full title of that game? Give us the next clue while I'm thinking.
Okay, let me give you the next clue.
Of the third kind. That's what it was. Close Encounters of the third kind.
All right.
War of the Worlds. We didn't get that movie until like 2013, right? That movie was awful.
The main plot has you stopping aliens called Woolies who intend to steal Earth's supply of yarn balls.
These clues are terrible, by the way.
Son of a bitch.
It's like the exact plot of the game. You play as a cat.
Listen, I know it's Bubsy. It's got to be Bubsy. Bubsy, they just, I think...
Here's a bonus clue. It's a Bubsy game. There you go. How's that for a clue?
Bubsy 1. The first Bubsy. That's my answer.
The answer is not Bubsy 1. I need the full title, please. Wait. How many points are left that you have?
I have no idea. How many clues are
like, what, 4 points? 5 points?
I think 4 points.
I'll give you 2 points for Bubsy 1. How's that sound? I'll give you the full title of the game.
I'm taking my points.
Yeah.
All right, take your 2 points. You guys were so close. The full title is...
I'm going to fucking stab you, I swear to God.
Bubsy in Claws Encounters of the Furred Kind.
The furred kind. Oh,
the
gosh.
Furred Kind. Oddly enough, Bubsy 2 was just called Bubsy 2.
Yeah.
I think you should award 3 points because we did have Bubsy and Furred Kind, of the
Claws
Encounters.
That's a great point, Will. I'll give you 3 points for that. For having Claws Encounters. Even though Steve said Bubsy 1.
I hate you so much. If anybody still listens to this show next week, I am going to royally destroy Andy's anus on the air. It's going to happen. I don't know who our guest is going to be. We'll find out at the end of the show.
Listen, Will, the last 2 games I picked Yo-Noid 2 weeks back. And now Bubsy. So those were on my list for a very long time.
What are the boundaries for this? I mean, how obscure can you get?
We're not supposed to get obscure. So
that's not obscure, Bubsy. Everyone knows what Bubsy is.
I mean, the title is. the main when we first started doing the Retro Game Club, it was literally supposed to be a larger segment where we picked a classic game,
an iconic video game franchise,
guess the game, and then come back the next week and talk about the game as we played it throughout the week. Then we started interviewing devs and had to play a lot more indie games, so we stopped playing the Retro Game Club games. And once that happened, all shit fucking hit the fan.
So what you're telling me is that wasn't for indie games, right now you'd be playing Bubsy, the first one from 1993?
Correct.
Okay.
Right you are.
This is all your fault, Will.
If it wasn't
Okay,
for
I'm sorry.
Exception, I'd be playing Bubsy.
Yeah, that made it all worthwhile.
Yeah, I hope it did. Nintendo Dual Screens Podcast is part of the Proven Gamer Podcast Network, which includes Trophy Horse, which just celebrated their 400th episode, which is a PlayStation podcast, and Game Stuff, a general games discussion podcast, and PG Spoilers, a listener-generated, off-the-cuff, no-holds-barred podcast where they spoil a bunch of TV shows, movies, and games. You can support them by going to provinggamer.com, downloading all those shows, subscribing, and all that fun stuff. So we are very grateful for having Proven Gamer in our lives. Thank you very much, Tricky Mick, for all that you do for us and all that fun stuff. If you want to follow us on social media, you can do so. We are at NDS Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. I am at Batchild27. Andy is at PantsGuy. Will, where can everybody find you and Exception and all that fun stuff?
Just head straight over to exceptiongame.com. It's got everything you'd ever ask for. It'll make all of your dreams come true.
Love it. Love it. Want more of it. Fucking Bubsy. You can join our Facebook group by going to facebook.com/groups/NDS podcast. That's facebook.com/groups/NDS podcast. Remember, if you're listening to us on Apple's service, please review us and rate us 5 stars and leave a comment, and we will read it on the show. Don't want to forget about that. We stream 2 or 3 or 4 nights a week at twitch.tv/dual-screen-streams. That's twitch.tv/dual-screen-streams. Thank you, Zazu Pitts of Sournote Productions, for our theme song, 16-Bit Attack. Thank you, Matt Murray, for all of our some of our fun art, especially the Twitch overlays and all that stuff. Thank you, Dan Colon of Dinosaur Machines and Hit Buttons, and Dan O'Mac for our Nintendo Dual Screens logo. And thank you, Andrew Douglas, who you can follow at Angie Moto, for all of our podcast art. All like the cartoon version of us. That's Andrew. Go follow him. Patreon.com/NDS podcast. What does that get you? It's going to get you the pre and post show of this very episode. Get on there. Andy?
Yes.
Is there anything you want to tell the kids before we go?
I kind of want to announce next week's guest, but it's not set in stone yet. We have 2 guests who are like fighting for next week's spot, essentially.
Oh my God, Will. Look at that. Grudge match. Let them punch each other for it. Will, thank you so much for joining us. Exception looks exceptional. I cannot wait to hate myself when I can't beat the game in any way. I'm getting a message. We're getting a message from space. It is the podcast art for this very episode that Andy decided to send me in the middle of the show, and I forgot to turn off my notifications. So you all heard that. You all heard that. Bing! So it's a thing. Will, yes, thank you again for coming on. I know you have a lot of shit going on right now. It was a blast hanging out with you. I appreciate it so much. We appreciate it so much. Where can everybody find Exception?
You will find it on Steam, on the Nintendo Switch store, the PlayStation store, and the Xbox store.
And maybe in Buzz Killington's inbox. Thank you so much, Will. Thank you, Andy. That is it, folks. This has been Nintendo Dual Screens episode 111 for the week of August 12th, 2019. And as always, please be excellent to each other.